Thank you so much, Rebecca Oluwakomile, for joining me today. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been a rainy day. I hope it's not affecting you.
Well, it's the wet month, so it's all right. Good morning,
Good
Esther.
morning.
Thank you for
Yes.
having me.
Now let's talk about politics. Youth participation in politics is a very big conversation, but thankfully, you and I are youths, and we are in the parts of the gender segment where they said there is less inclusion, having women in politics. So I'd like you to run me through, within the short time we're going to be discussing, about the process for youths and how to get into the whole project of politicking and politics in Nigeria.
Yeah, well, thank you for that question. I think that let me not come from the past where we didn't have not too young to run, because there are a lot of women that are also young people that can now run from age 25 as House of Reps member in their respective states. And from there, you can start to run for senatorial posts, governorship, even presidential, which I think is now from age 35. So yes, these roles, where even though they have been said, it has been said that okay, women we tend to run away from politics and all that, but that's not true. Women are also involved in politics.
Do
So
you want
yes.
me to get into the fact? I mean, the only
Yes.
primary is the only woman. She just, I mean, come on, look at what she did.
So you can
So is that not now a point of argument for the men to say that, you see, women, we told you?
Yes, even with that, there are also men that are also not doing their best
Okay.
in politics. So it's not a gender thing
All
that,
right.
oh, okay, some people, this particular gender is bad
It's
for
better.
this, and that particular gender is good for that. No, men are doing theirs, women are doing theirs as well.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that we should shut the window or we should shut the door against other women that are trying to join politics. And there are lots of women in politics. We may not see them in active roles like, but we just need more women to not wait for that appointee role, and actually get into the system and run. And we had one woman, join the presidential race, even though she didn't get the ticket from her party. But I'm sure that eventually, because Nigeria is not a 2-party or 3-party system, eventually we'll see more women on the ballot on election day.
Okay, so because we're talking about youth and trying to get them into participating, you are actively participating in politics. So I want you to give me the process from start to how a youth that is not interested, that has not gotten, maybe they just have their temporary, voters registration process on ground, and they are getting discouraged. What's the process of getting into participating in politics in Nigeria?
Okay, so first of all, you need to get your voter's card.
Okay.
You need to go and register to get that. I think that drive is going on right now. I think it's called the PVC drive. So a lot of young people are getting their voter's card. Now, whether those young people who are getting their voter's card now would actually come out to vote on the day of election is another discussion on its own. I'm happy that I can see a lot of young people like myself going to pick up their voter's card. Also, on that day, I wish that everyone wouldn't be voting out of anger, but would actually sit down and think about why they are voting. What is this candidate going to do for me? What is this? What exactly do I want as a citizen of Nigeria? What do I want? Can this candidate do it for me? Has this candidate done it before? I'm not going to be voting because, I'm very angry that they did not give me my own palliative. I'm not going to be when I don't need it, when I didn't need it during COVID.
Okay.
I'm not going to say, oh, I am angry because there is no electricity. So because of that, I'm just going to vote anyhow. So we shouldn't just lose our vote. We shouldn't just throw away our vote, because if 5 people come together and vote for a particular person out of 5 people who are just, and out of 10 people who are just angry, the remaining 5 people are just going to vote however they like. They won't vote purposefully for what they want. So we need to vote purposefully, not in anger.
But in between the process of getting the voters card and 2023, what are the things that I, as a youth, can do to actively show that I want to participate in politics? Not just because I want to be there. I'm not aspiring to be a politician, but I am a concerned citizen. So how do youths now make out time from their tight schedule? I go to work, I have a family, to cater for, I have things to do, I have a career. How do I put it into my schedule? Are there meetings? Are there structures in place that a youth can actually put themselves into to actively see that they are participating and they belong to a political community?
Okay, thank you very much for that. I think before now, a lot of political parties, as a young person who really wants to get involved from the political level, I mean, joining a political party and all of that, there were sometimes a few months ago where different parties were asking more people to join them. I'm not sure if that is still going on, but yes, you can join different political parties to get active. But as a citizen, you really just want more people to come out and vote. When we're sitting down with our friends, gisting and chatting, or hosting one of our parties, hosting a get-together, we could just bring up a discussion, which is a discussion that has been going on right now among young people. So who are you voting for? Is it the APC? Is it the PDP? Is the SDP? Is it Labour Party? These conversations are ongoing amongst ourselves. Sometimes you just see on your friend's status on WhatsApp that go collect your PVC and all of that. So these conversations are ongoing every day on Twitter Spaces, on Facebook, on different social media platforms. So a lot of people are getting involved. A lot of young people are getting involved, and I'm very, very happy about that.
Okay, 2 more questions before we let you go. Let's talk about now connecting to our family members, because you've mentioned certain spaces where the communication and the conversations are going on. And there are some parents, there are some people in our midst, there are some Nigerians who are not on Twitter, they are not on Facebook, they are not on Instagram, and you can't force them there. Maybe somebody like my grandma, but she still has the right to vote. So the youth have a role that they can play in influencing the parents, the grandparents, the senior citizens, and people around them who are not entirely educated enough to get the information on the media spaces. So is there something that youths can do? And then my last question would be about INEC and its support.
Thank you very much, Esther. Okay, I said that I didn't want us to think that our parents and our grandparents don't have access to information because they are not on social media. They are on the news at 9 or the news at 10. They listen to radio stations. So they know. I was asking of the youth earlier that you must know what you want from the government. Is the current government doing what you want? Okay, the current government, let's assume that the current government isn't doing what you want. The other party or the other candidates that you want to bring on, are they doing what you want in the states that they are? Do you think that they're able to do the same thing when it comes to the federal level or the state level, particular thing that you want that they aren't doing? So these are parents and our grandparents, they know what they want. So if that if the government is doing what they want, trust me, they are going to keep voting for the same people. That's why you see that it might be hard for you to convince your grandma to vote for a different person, because this is the person that they have been voting for. This is the party that they have been voting for, and they have been doing what they want for them. Some people, what they want is business grant. Some people, what they want is infrastructure. Some people, what they want is for the road to be good, so that when I go to the market, I can buy ugu and everything that I want to sell, and I bring them to where I want to sell them. I'm able to earn as much as I want, and I go back home. That's what they want. So as long as they are giving them what they want, they will keep voting for the same people and voting for the same party wherever they are.
But out of curiosity,
we might not be able to say.
Sorry, I'm butting in. You said something in passing, and I'm just the ideal candidates that Nigerians should look out for. You know, in the most generic terms that you can ever think of, who do you think the ideal candidate is for Nigerians at this point in time? Looking at where the naira is, looking at where the cost of foodstuff is, the cost of gas is, the cost of petrol, looking at the roads and everything, and our basic living. Who do you think the ideal candidates would be? Not to mention the names, but the characteristics of who the ideal candidates would be as a president.
Okay, as a president, I'll be looking out for someone who has done what I want before. Someone that has experience in tackling Nigeria's problem at this time.
Okay.
We are battling insecurity, we are battling bad electricity, we are battling the naira to dollar exchange rate.
Very important.
We're battling ASU strike. We're battling a lot of things. So I have to look out for someone who maybe one way or the other has been able to solve Nigeria's problem in their own way, maybe even as a local government chairman, maybe as a governor, maybe as a senator, someone who has done something for this country, someone who has track record, a party that has track record of what they have done.
So if it's a new person, it's not ideal for you.
History. If it's
if it's a new person who has never done anything in the public space, maybe they've been doing it in business, in the economics, in the commercial sector.
If you have been doing it in business, that's why I say someone who has experience, someone who has track record. Okay. For instance, I have a business, and one of the things that helps my business to stand out is transparency. So if I want transparency in this government, then if somebody wants transparency in a government and I am running, then the person should vote for me. So at the end of the day, it really depends on what each one of us want. What do you want to see in a government that you're voting for?
Last question.
So
INEC and its supports. Yes, INEC and its supports. Do you think that there is more coming from INEC, or there should be more coming from INEC to encourage people and to make people get more informed and educated about the forthcoming elections at all levels?
Thank you very much, Esther, for this question. So yes, I must clap for INEC at this time, because I think that they are really doing. Yes, I think that
Nigerians will be arguing with you right now that don't say that.
I know.
I have been standing on that rain. You know, the feedback have been 1 week. I've been trying to get the energy. You need to see the reporters on the field.
I know. We are young people. We are young people, and when we are ready for something, when we are ready to do it, we want to do it right now and do it immediately. But we need to understand where Nigeria is coming from. That we might not be able to get it. I know how many days I had to go to Airtel office. Oh, sorry that I'm mentioning their brand.
Okay.
That I had to go to their office to get my SIM card registered, my NIN and all of that. So we just have to be more patient. We need to, as long as we get what we want to do done. So for INEC, please, if you can have more centers, open up more spaces where people can register. There are lots of people who want to get involved in our country's electoral system as a citizen, not even as somebody running on any ballot. So please help us so that more people can join in this drive.
Thank you so much, Rebecca, for joining us this morning. It's beautiful having this conversation with you. I trust that as matters unfold, we'll have opportunities to discuss things like this again. Thank you once again for joining.
Thank you very much, Esther, for having me.
Do
It's
have a
been
great day ahead.
And you too.